Hi everyone, my name is Pavitra B. Today we are going to discuss a topic called electronic spectroscopy. So, electronic spectroscopy is active in UV visible region, that is 200 nanometer to 800 nanometer. So we know that 200 to 400 nanometer is of ultraviolet radiation, and from 400 to 800 nanometer it is visible region. Here electronic spectroscopy is nothing but we are considering an electron in the ground state, and when we pass an energy of radiation E is equal to h mu, that energy lies in UV and visible region. So this electron acquires the energy from the radiation and get excited to the higher energy state. In higher energy state, it is highly unstable, so it comes back to the original ground state by emitting absorbed radiation. So this is the main principle of electronic spectroscopy. So in order to take down electronic spectroscopy, there is also a vibrational changes and rotational changes takes place. We know that when we pass energy of radiation to a sample, we are passing a radiation with energy E is equal to h mu through a sample. First the molecules in the sample undergo rotational changes and then vibrational changes, and then electronic excitation will takes place. So in electronic spectroscopy, along with the electronic excitation, there will be rotational changes and also a vibrational changes taking place. When we come to the transition, there will be transition from HOMO to LUMO. So here HOMO is highest occupied molecular orbital. Highest occupied molecular orbital, whereas LUMO is lowest unoccupied molecular orbital. Highest occupied molecular orbital, lowest unoccupied molecular orbital. That is, when there is a electronic energy levels like this, see, if there is a electron, this is the first stage, second, third and fourth electronic excitation. So this is the highest occupied molecular orbital. This orbital is the highest occupied by the electron, and also this is the lowest unoccupied molecular orbital. This is the lowest energy having no electrons. So there is a transition from HOMO to LUMO. So this is the explained in electronic spectra or electronic transitions. Next we will discuss energy level diagram. Before that, the electronic spectroscopy is applicable or suitable for organic molecules. So organic molecules having sigma electrons, pi electrons and non-bonding electrons are suitable for electronic spectroscopy. See, sigma electrons are present in sigma bonds, pi electrons are present in pi bonds like double bonds, whereas non-bonding electrons are present in heteroatoms. Heteroatoms consists of non-bonding electrons. So the energy level is drawn like this. So it is having sigma, pi, n, pi star and sigma star. Here sigma star and pi stars are called anti-bonding orbitals. Anti-bonding orbitals, whereas sigma and pi are called bonding orbitals. Bonding orbitals. As usual, n is called non-bonding orbitals, or the electrons present here are non-bonding electrons. So here we have a types of transitions, so that there will be a non-bonding electrons. So non-bonding electron can jump to pi star or it can jump to sigma star. There will be a transition of n to pi star, n to sigma star. Or we have a pi electrons, it can transition from pi to pi star, and the last one is sigma to sigma star. So this is the electrons. We have pi electrons, sigma electrons and non-bonding electrons. There will be 4 types of transitions, that is n to pi star, n to sigma star, pi to pi star and sigma to sigma star. When we consider the energy, it is in the increasing order of energy. So when we consider the energy required for this transition, each transition requires different amount of energy. Based on the energy, we can write an order, that is n to pi star transition. See, I am using a small arrow mark here. N to pi star transitions require lesser energy than pi to pi star, and n to sigma star than sigma to sigma star. So this is the energy sequence, very important. That is, sigma to sigma star transition requires more energy than n to sigma star. So here the first energy, the largest energy transition is sigma to sigma star, and then n to sigma star is the second, and the third one is pi to pi star, and the last one is n to pi star. So this requires the least energy. See, from the figure we have a confusion that when we come to the second and third one, these two, pi to pi star and n to sigma star, seems to be having a same difference or a same energy, but give a note that, see, as we move upwards, as the energy increases, the difference between two energy levels also increases. Okay, so the difference between n to pi star is more when compared to pi to sigma star. Okay, as we move, see, it looks like this. See, this is the energy levels. So further we move, the energy level difference increases, but it is not visible here. So ನಾನು ಕಾಣೋ ಹಾಗೆ ಬರ್ದಿಲ್ಲ ಅಷ್ಟೇ, but there is a difference more when compared to n to sigma star and pi to pi star. So n to sigma star having more energy difference, hence it requires more energy for the electronic transition. From this transition, we can divide it into 2 types of transition, that is bonding orbitals to non-bonding orbitals. Okay, there is a transition of electrons from bonding orbitals to non-bonding orbitals. For example, pi to pi star and sigma to sigma star transitions are bonding orbital to non-bonding orbitals, and the other type is non-bonding electrons to the anti-bonding. So this is non-bonding to, see, this is anti-bonding orbitals. So bonding to anti-bonding, non-bonding to anti-bonding, that is n to pi star and n to sigma star. So these are the 2 types: bonding molecular orbital to anti-bonding orbitals, that is pi to pi star and sigma to sigma star. Non-bonding orbitals to anti-bonding orbitals, that is n to pi star and n to sigma stars are the examples. Next we will consider transition from bonding orbital to anti-bonding orbitals. In that, first one is sigma to sigma star. It is taking place in vacuum ultraviolet region having a value 120 to 200 nanometer range. So for this we have taken an example like alkanes. So alkanes, for example methane. See, when we consider an example of methane, CH4, we have sigma bonds. CH bonds are single bonds. Single bond are nothing but which is having a sigma bond between carbon and hydrogen atom. So here we have a sigma electrons which undergoing transitions. So the best example for sigma to sigma star is methane. And next, second one, there is an next type is pi to pi star transition. Here it is, we are taking an example of ethene. So in ethene it is CH2 double bond CH2. We have a double bond. Here we have a pi electrons which undergo transition from pi to pi star. Other than this, we have a transition, that is transition from non-bonding orbital to anti-bonding orbital. Next type is transition from non-bonding orbital to anti-bonding orbital. Here we have first one, N to sigma star transition. In N to sigma star, we have to choose an organic molecule such that it should have a non-bonding electrons and also sigma energy levels. So I have taken an example, methanol. Methanol, that is CH3OH. Here O is the heteroatom, oxygen is the heteroatom. It is having a non-bonding electrons. This electrons gets transition, electronic transition. So methanol is the example. So this transition taking place in the region 150 to 250 nanometer range. So this is an example. Next, the second transition is N to pi star. Here we have to get a non-bonding electron and also a double bond. So I am taking an example of organic compounds containing carbonyl groups like aldehydes and ketones, or C double bond S bonds, or nitro bonds, N double bond O bonds. These are some of the functional groups which are present in the organic molecule, which shows N to pi star transition. So these are the types of transitions in the energy levels. Next we will discuss the selection rule of electronic spectra. In that, first selection rule is spin selection rule. Spin selection rule. Here we have a condition, that is delta S should be 0. That is, there should be no change in the spin state. That is, change in spin multiplicity are forbidden. So if there is a change in the spin, so that transition is forbidden. Forbidden is nothing but not allowed transition. So here we have a two kinds, that is singlet state and a triplet state. So we have two states, singlet state and triplet state. Singlet is nothing but it is having a electronic arrangement in an orbit like this. One is clockwise spin and another electron is having anti-clockwise spin. Whereas for triplet, both the electrons having the same spin. When we calculate the spin state, here one is having the plus half and another electron is having minus half. So the total spin is delta S is 0. So the change in spin state is 0. So here we are calculating a spin like 2ns plus 1. See here, n is the number of electrons having the identical environment and s is the spin. So here we have 2 into number of electrons having the same environment is 0. There is no electron such having a same spin. So 2 into 0 into spin state is half. So plus 1 is equal to 1, that is singlet. When we calculate it for triplet, 2ns plus 1, here 2 into, there are 2 electrons having the same environment. 2 electrons experiencing the same spin, that is 2 electrons into half. So spin state is half plus 1. Here 2 gets cancelled. 2 plus 1 is 3. It is nothing but triplet. So 3 is triplet, 1 is singlet. Here we consider delta S is equal to 0. That is when a transition from singlet to singlet or triplet to triplet is allowed transition. See, this kind of transition is allowed, singlet to singlet or triplet to triplet. Here delta S is equal to 0. There is no change in the spin. If at all there is a transition from singlet to triplet, No, it is not possible. Or triplet to singlet, it is also not possible. Here there is a change in spin state, that is delta is not equal to 0, hence it is a forbidden. Forbidden is nothing but not allowed transition. This kind of transition is not allowed. Okay, so this is the first selection rule, that is spin selection rule. Next we have a second selection rule, that is there must be a change in symmetry of the molecule. See, the second one is there must be a change in the symmetry of the molecule. The symmetry should change in the molecule. And the third selection rule is delta L is equal to plus or minus 1. So this is the third selection rule. Here we are discussing delta L is equal to plus or minus 1, where L is azimuthal quantum number. So in quantum numbers we have 4 quantum numbers: principal quantum number, azimuthal quantum number, magnetic quantum number and spin quantum number. For this electronic selection rule we are considering azimuthal quantum number. Here it should be is equal to plus or minus 1. We will see what is this. See, L decides the orbital, that is suborbital. If L is equal to 0, then it should be a s orbital. We know this. If L is equal to 1, then it is a p orbital. If L is equal to 2, then it is a d orbital. See, from the selection rule we have given a condition that it should be plus or minus 1. That is, if there is a transition from s orbital to p orbital, yes, it is allowed. If there is a transition from s orbital to d orbital, no, it is not allowed, it is forbidden, because the delta L value becomes 0 minus 2, that is 2. See, for s to p, 0 minus 1, it should be delta L is equal to 1. So there is a forbidden transition if delta L is not equal to plus or minus 1. See, for example, P to D transition is allowed, but P to F transition is not allowed. Okay, like this, the delta L should be plus or minus 1. Next we will move to the band theory. In band theory we have 4 types of bands, that is R band, K band, B band and E band. R, K, B, E. R band, K band, B band and E band. Here R is nothing but radicalling and K is nothing but conjugating. Like R band is, it is arises due to n to pi star transition of a single chromophoric group, that is which is imparting a color, functional group which imparts the color and having at least one lone pair of electron on the heteroatom. So here we are taking an example of acetophenone. So in acetophenone the lambda maximum value is about 319 nanometers and the epsilon maximum, that is the intensity, it is given as 50. So this is the value for acetophenone. So next we will move to the conjuring, that is K band. In K band it is arises from pi to pi conjugated structures owning pi to pi star transitions. So there is a pi system in this organic molecules which is characterized by high molar absorptivity. For example, it is having epsilon maximum value more than 10 power 4. So more intensity. So for this we have taken an example as butadiene. here we have a 2 double bonds so that it can undergo pi to pi star transition to give K band in the spectra. So we are discussing different bands in the electronic spectra. So about the B band is nothing but benzenoid. In benzenoid, it is also arises from pi to pi star transition. It is having a simple example as benzene. So benzene is a simple example. If there is a benzene in the organic molecule, then it gives B band, which gives from the transition pi to pi star, and it is an aromatic and heteroatomic molecules sometimes. So next we will move to the E band. It is nothing but ethylenic band. Here it is an arises due to the oscillations of electronic oscillations. So in an aromatic system, thus are characteristics of aromatic structure. For example, in benzene itself, it shows E band near 180 nanometer and also 200 nanometers. So we are getting two bands, that is E1 and E2 for benzene. It is oscillating. So the electron is oscillating in the E band. So these are the 4 types of bands in the electronic spectra. Next we will discuss the shift in the peaks. See, we are observing a peak here. Okay, sometimes what happens, there is a slightly shift in the peak. So we are not getting in an actual position this peak, that is we are observing in the electronic spectra. For that we have a graph to explain the shifting of the peak. See, we are considering a graph. In x-axis we are considering lambda maximum, that is wavelength, and in y-axis we have considered the epsilon maximum, that is intensity. So intensity in the y-axis and wavelength in the x-axis. So here if it is the peak point, okay, if it is shifting towards the right, okay, that is having a higher wavelength, then we call this as a red shift. Okay, so in the VIB-GIR, see, it is the visible region VIB-GIR. When we move from violet to red, the wavelength increases and the energy decreases. Of course, the wavelength increases. Hence, we are naming it as red shift, as it is increasing wavelength. If the wavelength is decreasing, then we call it as blue shift. We call it as blue shift if the peak is having higher intensity than the observed. If it is having higher intensity, then it is called hyperchromic shift. Hyperchromic shift. If it is having lower intensity than the observed, is called hypochromic shift. Hyper and hypochromic shift. The word itself explains you. Hyper means more, hypo means less. So hyperchromic shift and hypochromic shift. If the wavelength is changing, if it is having a higher wavelength, then it is called red shift. Red shift is also called bathochromic shift. Red shift is also called bathochromic shift, and whereas blue shift is also called hypsochromic shift. So we have 4 types of shifts based on intensity and wavelength. If based on wavelength, it is 2 types, blue shift and red shift. Red shift having higher wavelength, blue shift having lower wavelength. Red shift is also called as bathochromic shift, and blue shift is also called as hypsochromic shift. Epsilon based on the intensity. If it is having a higher intensity, then it is called hyperchromic shift. If it is having a lower shift, then it is called hypochromic shift.